Honestly, the main bulk of this video only exists as a giant spoiler warning to what I found. Part of me wanted to refrain from making this video at all, but I'm a stickler for the brutal truth, so I felt the responsibility to at least mention it. I might sound too serious about this silly thing, and it might get sorted out in the future, but I'd rather be too serious than not serious enough for the purpose of preserving people's chance to not have something they love be ruined. If you don't care about such things, feel free to skip ahead to the timestamp, as I'm not the type of person who wants to string you along for the sake of view time. I don't personally believe in ghosts, the paranormal, the supernatural, or the spiritual. But I am absolutely fascinated by the psychological and philosophical phenomena surrounding them. Everybody knows someone who says they've had an experience with the supernatural, and everybody knows someone who will insist on interrogating those stories to try to reveal a scientific explanation. I am both of those people. Most of my polite interrogations don't usually yield any kind of admission of misinterpretation of events from the so-called open-minded believer, and I don't really expect them to. But I do find myself creating my own theories of what might have happened to them, based on what they tell me and the answers they give to the questions I have. Were you tired? Were you high? Was it dark? Did you watch a scary movie? And as it usually seems to be, the deciding factor amongst most people is that they believe because they want to believe for whatever reason that may be. This is relevant. The Spiritbox in Phasmophobia is based on the PSB7 Spiritbox, which, without getting myself too deep into a rabbit hole of background research on a real-life ghost hunting device, appears to be an FM radio that cycles through many frequencies in quick succession, like flicking through TV channels really quickly, presenting you with fragments of sound and speech that just sound like a fog of noise for the most part. If such a thing were running in the background, you may just hear the foggy sounds as your brain tunes out the noise so you can focus on other things. When listening to such a mix of sounds and paying attention, you may hear some of the individual words more clearly. When you want to believe that a dead person can use this radio to talk to you, and you ask the radio a question, and want to hear a relevant answer, you may hear one or more words from the mix of noises that answers your question.
So, any spirits here that want to give me their name? What's your name? Do you have a pet?
Non-believers, such as myself, scientists and skeptics, see the supposed answers as a psychological phenomenon wherein our brains choose to tune in on and interpret the audio clips as an answer for the sake of confirming the bias.
You'll know the Spiritbox is working if, after turning it on and talking into it via local push-to-talk, a prompt reading nothing detected appears. The ghost responds to your question, or if the prompt shows what the ghost
I was
has
once
said.
asked
If neither
if
of
it's in the
these
room
three
and it
things
stayed
happen,
behind,
it
so I
is
turned
possible
around and
that
asked
your
where are you
microphone
and he
is
stayed
not
behind
working
again,
and you
so I
did not
turned
ask
around
one
again
of the
and asked
supported
where are you and
questions.
he
If
stayed
your voice
behind.
recognition is
Maybe
properly
catch
working,
means
it is
catch
an
an object is gross.
supported
I remember one of my friends was playing this in the live stream to register my consent. I had to mom a spirit box after that, I can just ask a question without pressing something to
What the fuck did you just fucking say about me, you little bitch? I'll have you know I graduated top of my class in the Navy SEALs, and I've been involved in numerous secret raids on Al-Qaeda, and I have over 300 confirmed.
So right now it's definitely worth mentioning that this recent discovery of mine comes from the November 4th patch. While I was double checking myself before double wrecking myself, I found one or two videos that mentioned or showed the box saying close, behind, away, far. I tried to roll back my version of the game to pre-November 4 patch to replicate this, because during all of my recent testing I did not once hear any of these phrases, but swear I had heard these and a couple more phrases from playing since the game's release. From this patch onwards, I have heard the following phrases. I have seen no correlation between the aggressive phrases and the hunt phase. There have been plenty of times when the box said an aggressive phrase and no hunt ever happened, and there have been plenty of times when the box told me an age and the hunt happened soon enough. House lights and lamps do affect the radio's functionality, but torches, candles and glow sticks do not. The rules for house lights seem somewhat peculiar, as sometimes I have had the box stop working after I had switched on a light in the next room over. But in other locations, a similar setup would not stop the box from getting a response. If you are hunting, you may want to switch off all the surrounding lights and lamps before giving up on a Spiritbox test. You can use the box through walls, and the box can detect the ghost through walls. I don't know if the same functionality applies to ceilings. There we go. So I can do it through the wall. Maybe if this I decided to combine the light test and the wall test, and it would seem that using the box through the wall with the lights on in the box room and the lights off in the player room is okay. And it would seem that using the box through the wall with the lights off in the box room and the lights on in the player room is not okay. So it might be the case that the box refers to the player when checking the light status and not to itself. Discerning the rules regarding range is also uncertain. As you can see here, I have many sensors inside and leading into the kitchen where I know the ghost resides. I've placed the boxes as far from the kitchen as I could without them losing their responses, and positioned myself as far from the boxes as I could without losing a response. I thought this meant that the spirit boxes had about a 4 meter radius that both the ghost and the player had to be inside of in order to get a response. But after reading about and testing the next clip, I'm not so sure.
Are you old?
Old.
So it answers on global or local, because I asked it on both and it answered both times.
For a sec. Yeah, so if I ask it a question here, I get nothing detected. But if you ask it a question, I get the answers on my radios. So here's the thing. The kind of disappointing thing that I discovered and the real reason for this video. Anytime I've said, ask the box a question, talk to or use the box, or anything of the sort, what I really mean is hold the push to talk button. That's it. You can spam it, you can hold it, you can talk, stay silent, have your microphone muted, it doesn't matter. Are you a boy? Are you a girl? As soon as I press the button, yeah, it doesn't work like that. Now I'm just holding it down. Are you a boy? Are you a girl? I'm just gonna hold it down without saying anything. I'm going to mute my mic. So I've unmuted my mic. It's like a full-on disconnect where you put the whole thing up. And I'm just holding the push to talk buttons and it's doing this. Yeah, so I think pretty much the entire wiki is just wrong. Don't know what the hell's going on with it. It's just kind of fucking stupid. So once again, I'm talking into the mic. Are you here? I'm not pushing the button. I push talks on my mouse. Are you here? Where are you? Are you a boy? Are you a girl? Where are you? Now I'm going to hold down the push to talk button. Lock. Now I'm going to mute my microphone. We've got hate. Kid. Once again. Okay. Now, I don't know how to revert my patch to test this even further, so I can't say if this is new or has always been the case. I can never truly verify what once was, but I know for a fact what it is now. The questions don't matter, the answers don't matter, which makes all of these stories from players seem kind of sad, looking in from this side of the veil. When it comes to this game, I'm the bravest of my friends by far, and certainly the least often frightened, but even with my rational mind and balls of steel, the Spiritbox has always terrified me for some reason. The very millisecond I got an answer, I'd just turn the Spiritbox off and throw it on the ground, evidence found, done, get the fuck out. And whenever it said an aggressive phrase, I took it as 100% fact that the ghost was about to try and murder me, so I'd run away and hide with actual fear for my real life. So maybe it's my situation, which is sad. Everyone is sharing their spooky stories with each other while I'm just sat here with a ghost.obj metal detector. I'll briefly make the comparison to the real-life PSB7 Spiritbox to feign some kind of deep philosophical and scientific enlightenment. Then I'll say I'll let you be the one to draw your own comparisons and come to your own conclusions so that I don't actually have to say anything of real risk or value. As for solutions, I don't know. I'm not really a game developer or a programmer. I don't know the capability of voice to text. I don't know how the rest of the game's vocal interactions truly hold up, as I haven't extensively tested them yet. So I don't know if this is an isolated cop-out, the tip of the iceberg, or just a simple bug that needs a patch. Maybe this is just an ease of access decision for people who don't speak English or have no mic and still want to enjoy the game. All I really have to say is that with everything in the game, the developer should try to make it so that nothing is 100% certain. The fear comes from not knowing. Did the ghost hear me? Did it say kid or say kill? Is it about to start hunting? Should I hide, fight or flight, fight or flight? Obviously it's still a game. If everything were totally random, then the game would be frustrating, which is exactly why I do these very tests whenever I play games. But ultimately, once you know that flashlight flicker equals unsafe and flashlight not flicker equals safe 100% of the time, everything else goes out the window. Hey. With the holy smoly bole. Okay. Oh, fucking hell. It's okay, you're not real. Hello. So maybe 85% of the time flashlight flicker means not safe, maybe 85% of the time hunt makes flashlight flicker, 85% of the time closet keeps you safe, bad voices mean bad times, and so on, based on ghost and difficulty and map and player behaviour and shyness and etc, etc. Oh yeah, and avoid lying. Avoid the meaningless additions that have no real impact. Darkwood is a very scary game for a first time player, you should go play it. But once I knew that twigsnap.wav is never connected to any real world entity, every time I heard it, it just annoyed me. Anyway, much love to the developer and the community. I still fucking love this game and the potential it has. If the dev releases one of those give me more money for nothing if you want DLCs, I probably would support it.